Hey, so today I will tell you the nightmare I went through in Santiago de Compostela. So yes, I went through a nightmare, but it was the first time I was supposed to travel by myself as much. I mean, the year prior, I think I went to New York. I was like 16 years old and I was with an agency. And as an au pair in Santiago de Compostela, I went there with an agency as well. So the agency required the au pair to have their own bedroom, okay? Like a neutral bedroom so that the au pair can have their own stuff, because the au pair is staying, I think it was like minimum 6 months or maybe 3 months minimum, but it was rare to have a family that just wanted you for 3 months. Usually it was like around 6 months, and with this family I was supposed to stay for 10 months. So the agency, they kind of like organize interviews with the au pair and the family, and then the family says to the agency if they like the au pair and vice versa. Okay, so I was supposed to say as well if they seems good or not. So I was talking to them through a screen, and I ended up, you know, finding a family in Santiago de Compostela. So everything is organized, I go there, everything is perfect, they seems really nice, and right then and there I arrived, I see that they didn't really plan, like they didn't organize themselves prior to my like, you know what I mean? Like, so I arrived and she was like, oh, you have a big suitcase, you have a big, like she just said that to me a couple of times, and I'm like, yeah, I have a big suitcase because I'm supposed to stay for 10 months, okay, like almost an entire year. So, you know, I cried when I left because I was like leaving my family, like, come on. And I'm just like 17 years old, you know, like, you know, I don't know life at all, like, or like barely. And it's the first time that I'm really living by myself without nothing. I do not speak Spanish at all because kid you not, the year prior, okay, was the first year of university and I took translation. And I had English as my first language, then second language was German, and then third language was Italian. So the second language, arriving there in university, what do they want? They want us to be bilingual in German and to translate entire text. And when I just left high school, they just wanted us to present ourselves pretty much. Yeah, not the same level, okay? So I was like, okay, let me stop university now. Let me go to Spain, because I never learned Spanish in school. I learned German instead. I took German. And I was like, let me go to Spain for like almost a year. I will come back bilingual, and then I will take as a second language Spanish. And as a third language, I will not take Italian again because I don't want to leave like German. Like I studied like German for 10 years. I don't want to let it go like that. So I will take this as a third language so that I can learn everything from the beginning again. And you know, like Italian, it's just too close to like Spanish to me. And I was like, I will mix the two. So I will learn Italian maybe later in my life, but not now. Okay, so my plan, go to Spain. So I went to Spain, okay? At the beginning, everything was fine. Then few things started to happen, okay? So I have my note right here, and I wrote everything that happened that led me to leave. I was about to say like months prior, but like I stayed only 1.5 months instead of 10 months, okay? And it was a nightmare. I'm just really not saying a word like that, like I mean it, okay? The few things that happened. First, like I didn't have my own room pretty much, okay? I was in the little girl's room. So she was not sleeping with me at night, of course. She was staying in her brother's bedroom. So she was 4 and her brother was like 6. So I had to take care as an au pair of them too, okay? They were really cute, really nice. And the little girl, she didn't really understood why I was in her room and why she couldn't enter her room. And she was in her room with me all the time, even during my break. Like, I just wanted to have my own space, and no, she would like enter the room like that. Like, of course, not knocking, she doesn't understand. So I don't think her parents really explained to her, it's no longer your room, and she couldn't really understood it. Normal, she's 4-year-old, okay? I'm not expecting her to understand fully what's happening. But it was not the first scare for her to have an au pair, because the year prior, another au pair was with this family and she stayed 10 months. And during like the first 3 to 6 months, the mom told me this, the little girl just did not want to acknowledge the presence of the au pair. So they were like all eating and she was like, "Mom, why is this girl with us? Mom, why is this girl in my room?" Like, she would not even want to talk to this girl. She was 3 years old. So I was like, yeah, there's maybe a problem with her, like, personality, but it's not her. It's like the parents' education. I would work until 11 p.m., which I was supposed to work until like 7, 8 max. No, I was working until 11 p.m. because the little girl was always with me, even during my off time. So I couldn't even have my parents on the phone too long, because she would like be there and want my attention, and also they didn't want it to go to sleep. So maybe I will just read them a story or like that at night. I even during my off time, I don't care. I like them, I'm here with them, like I'm part of the family, so I can do that even during my off time, it's fine. Yes, but the problem is that they were like, the parents would go to watch TV at night, and then I would go to my own room and I would have like 1 or 2 hours of, free time for me before sleeping and starting again tomorrow, the next day. But the problem was that they would wake up. Like, they would not even like sleep. Like, they would just wait for the parents to watch TV and then come to my room. And the parents would not even stand up to go and to tell them, you go to sleep. No, I had to do this, and they would do this like one time in the entire night, the entire evening, pretty much. Like, you cannot do this. It's not okay, because I was just working all the time, like 24/7. I had to take the children to school, and then I had to bring them back from school, and the school was like 2 minutes like top next to the house, so very, very close, very near. And I would had, when they were to school, few hours from me. So what I did to learn Spanish, because both of the parents were English teacher and they refused to speak to me in Spanish, and I was there for that. And at the beginning it was for me to understand, which I can understand, but then when I asked them after 1 week or 2 weeks, I said, can we switch in Spanish so that I can learn Spanish because I'm here for that? They were like, yeah, but like, it's easier, so no, we will keep like speaking to you in English. And I was like, I'm not, that was not the deal. I'm not here for that. I know English. I'm here to learn Spanish. So where am I going to learn Spanish? Everyone there in Santiago de Compostela are first speaking in Gallego. Okay, that's how they say it. I forgot in English and in French how you pronounce this language, but in Spanish it's Gallego and then Spanish, okay? It's like in Barcelona, it's Catalan first and then it's Spanish. So there it's Gallego. So everyone was speaking in Gallego, and I could not understand Gallego. And it's fine, I learned a few words, but how do you want me to speak Spanish then, if at home you're not even speaking to me in Spanish? I would have Spanish class when the children would be to school, so I would take the bus to go in town, and I found the first days, like a school, and I would have a few hours. So I barely had enough time to come back from my school to then take the children back from school and to spend some time with them. and until the night, okay? So that was my days. It's like full days. I had just 1 day off, and which is kind of rare when you're an au pair. Usually you have 2 days off, and you're making some money. Like they give you some money, but it's like pocket money, but it's like enough because they give you everything else, like food and stuff, you know, accommodation. So I'm not complaining, but of course it depends. If you are in a family that is rich, they will give you a lot of, you know, a lot of money. So with that being said, now the beginning of the nightmare. It was too much. I couldn't have my own space because the children would always come to my room. Then I think the boy, maybe he had a problem. I'm not a psychologist, so I cannot know. It's just guessing maybe. Because it's not just me. I mean, I had a discussion with their parents and the mother was like thinking that too, you know? So I'm not just me, you know, like saying shit, like saying bullshit. But anyway, it was just at some moments complicated with him, which, you know, it's normal because he needed some more attention, okay, let's say this that way. And he was really cute. I really love those kids, but it would be difficult because the sister had a totally different personality, like totally different. So at some point I was supposed to go out to walk with them to the nearby park, which was like maybe 15-20 minutes of walk with them, so you know. And then the boy decided, middle of the road, he was like, yeah, no, I don't want to go anymore. And then he, like, the little girl was like, yeah, but I want to go. And I was like, okay, maybe we can go tomorrow, we can come back, and, you know, we had a nice walk and we will go. And then the little girl would start crying because she wanted to go. And yeah, we were supposed to go. So I would be like, okay, saying to the boy, can we maybe go like 5 minutes? We're not gonna stay too long. And he would start crying. So they were both crying. And I was like, what do I do? So I have to take a decision. But the problem was that the little boy would like, sorry, I'm not supposed to laugh, but like scream his like voice out. Like he would scream and it would be like the end of the world, like full crisis. Like I had to call the parents, okay? I had to call the mom to come pick us up with the car because we cannot walk anymore. He doesn't want to follow. Like it's the end of the world. Like I never heard a child cry that much. And I worked with child many years since I'm 16, okay? So now I can tell even right now, after years and years of working with child, I never saw a child scream that much. I could not say, I could not do anything, okay? So I had to call the parents, they can come pick us up. And the mom was like, there's a problem because he never screamed like that before, so what did you do to him? I was like, what do you mean? So I explained her the situation. Even the little girl is confirming the thing. She was like, yeah, he didn't want to go anymore. And she's like, yeah, but there's a problem. I don't know, because since you arrived, he's like this. And like, okay, the beginning of the nightmare. So that was one of the last, I say one of the last straws because I don't think it's this thing that made me take this decision of leaving, because she would like give me like some things like chores around the house to do, which was okay because it was part of the au pair thing. But then she would add more and more and more, and at the end I would have to clean the garage where I did not even had my driving license back then, so I did not even like went through the garage at all, but I had to clean it, okay? I had to take care of the children's clothes, which is okay, I'm taking care of them. I had to clean their bedroom, like it's fine. But then I would have to clean their clothes too, the parents' clothes. So, you know, she was adding and adding and adding and adding, and at the end I was like talking to my agency saying, I cannot stay anymore. Get me out of here. Get me the fuck out of here. And I explained everything and they were like, yeah, it was not part of the deal. Like half of what you're doing is not part of the deal, so we're okay. You know, you will come back to France and then we will, you know, give you another family, you know, pretty much. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I say this, I say this after talking to my agency, to the parents, and I say, it's fine, I'm not going to leave tomorrow, I can stay as long as you need until you find someone else, you know, it's fine, because, you know, they really needed someone to take care of their child, because they would both work at the same time, and they could not pick their child up, and like from the school and stuff. So I was okay, like even if I was living a nightmare. The video would be way too long if I was explaining to you everything that was happening there. I will stay as long as you need, okay? So the dad, I never talked about the dad because I never had a problem with the dad, because the dad, like, I would have discussions of hours with him, and then the mother would be jealous. It's just a nightmare. A nightmare. And the dad was like, it's fine, you know, like, we understand, thank you very much for letting us know, thank you very much for letting us the time to find someone else. And the woman, she started to scream at me, and she was like, yeah, what do you want? You wanted to have your own house? You wanted to have your own bedroom? You want house? You want... And I was looking at her like, she's fucking crazy. Like, she screamed at me. And then the dad was like, stop screaming at her. Like, the end of the... I'm not even lying. I don't know why I forgot about the whole story, because, you know, I've been through shit after that too. So, you know, like, it's fine. I had way more, like, hard situation after that. But this one I forgot, and that was one of the craziest ones. I have to talk to you very fast because the video will be way too long even to edit, so I'm trying to do it quickly. But after that, okay, I stayed with them. It was worse. She would give me more stuff to do. Like, I had to, you know, to deal with it until I think we agreed on how long I would stay with the family, like with the parents. We agreed at some point until, you know, like, okay, I will stay 3 more weeks. I think that's why we agreed at the end, because they were like, we're not going to make you stay like for months and months, you know. So yeah, like 3 more weeks so we can, you know, have 3 weeks to find someone else and stuff. And we were like, okay. Seeing the last day coming, you know, arrive, I would have to organize my departure, okay? So I had with the agency a insurance, you know, and if anything was happening with the family and you had to go, like exactly my situation, then the insurance would like pay you, I think it was like up to 5 nights in a, or 7, or I don't remember how long, but like few nights in a hotel, 3 stars hotel. And I took it, you know. So I had to organize everything with the hotel, with the taxi, and just a reminder, I did not speak Spanish, okay? So I had, like, in total with them, I stayed like 1 month and 1 week, and then 1 week in a hotel room. So I had to not go to class at some point, the class that I paid. I had to not go to class so that I could have time to go to hotels and to organize myself, because the only day off that I had was the Sunday. So even like the friends that I made in my class, they would all hang out, and I could not, because the Saturday night I was finishing at 11. And so the Sunday she was like, you can go out if you want, everything is closed. There's not even like a bus to go to the city center right now because we're Sunday. What are you, like, or like the, anyway. She would not even give me a day off to organize myself, so I had to miss some days of class to organize myself. And from home I had to call the taxi company to organize myself for the last day of me staying with them. So the taxi would take me from the house and then drive me with my suitcase and all my stuff to the hotel, you know. So I was like, do you speak English? And he was like, no English, no English, only Spanish. And I had just like 1 month of class, of like Spanish class. I was like, okay. So I ended up making myself understood with the small amount of Spanish that I knew. The time, the day and stuff, so I was so proud of myself. Actually, that's the very moment I realized, you know what, I can do whatever I want in life. Nothing's impossible, because to me that was like impossible. Like, it was the first time I was doing everything by my own in another country, and like making myself out of a situation where I would not even speak that language. So I was so proud of myself, like, from this moment. The last thing she did to me, this woman, she like, I told her tomorrow the taxi driver will come pick me. there at this time, like here. And they were like, oh, okay, okay. I have to go with my son to the hairdresser. And I was like, okay, it's fine. But, you know, my daughter and my husband they will both be there. All right. So before her going to the hairdresser, she said bye to me, and then they went. 15 minutes before the taxi driver arrived, the husband, he takes the dog, and he said, okay, I will go up with the dog. I will be here before your taxi driver be there. Can't you wait? Okay. He's gone. The taxi driver arrives. He like, I'm alone with the daughter. I'm not going to leave the daughter alone in the house. So I don't know if they organized this to have something to say against me to the agency, or I don't know what. But there's no way I'm going to leave and to let the daughter alone. And the taxi driver was so nice, because I asked him, I'm so sorry, is it possible for you to just stay and, you know, like to switch off the contact of his car, you know, you know what I mean, so that I don't have to pay longer and him waiting, you know. And he was like, yeah, no problem. So nice. And he waited for me, and we waited with the taxi driver 15 minutes more. 15 minutes. The husband never came, all right? Thank God the woman, the mom and the son came back from the hairdresser. And she was like, where is my husband? And I was like, I don't know. He went with the dog. He said, I won't be long. I don't know where he is, but I'm not going to let the 4-year-old child alone. And she was like, oh, okay, but well, I'm here now. Bye. So I don't know if they organized something, but like, I did not do the mistake they wanted me to do, if it was the case. So, okay, starting from now, I stayed 1 week in the city center, because I never had the time to visit the city center. So I stayed 1 week, and a lot of things happened this week, so maybe I will do another story time. But that's it for the nightmare in Santiago de Compostela. I think I missed a lot of situations that happened with the mom, but that was crazy, right? I'll talk to you in another video. Until then, be kind to yourself, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you in another video, of course, about backpacking. Bye.